Hi guys, how are you today, and thanks for tuning into the channel. Why not hit the subscribe button plus the notification bell, and when I upload new content you'll be first to get it. Just had the 650 Interceptor out on a bit of a run, and since I've done the mods where I put the exhaust system back on the bike, the booster plug and the sports air filter, just thought I'd let you know that bike's running and performing really well. So there's bike's really good now in the mid-range area, accelerates nicely, performs really good when you hit the throttle in top gear, like 6 gear pull. So everything's running really well on that particular bike now, and I think I'll sort of leave it at that stage for a while, and you know, it's good to party anytime I want to go. So back over here on this 390 KTM adventure bike, I've also been on it yesterday, and I took it out for a little bit of a run and see how it performed on a little bit further ride when I had it in for the service. And after the service, it appears now they've done a pretty good job on the bike, and it's performing really well. It's riding well, pulling good through the gears. I actually think now it's performing or riding better than what it did prior to going into the service. I don't know what they did to it, but it seems to be going a bit better. Whether it was a software update, I'm not sure about that, but you know, they may have done something to it in that line. But although I know it is running well, so I've got two good bikes running in that area pretty well. Okay guys, while we're at it, I might as well let you know that I'm still running the factory 15 tooth sprocket on the front here and at the back. I have got a custom made, or I think it's a custom made 47 tooth rear sprocket for the back of this bike. It's being fixed up in India, but at the moment they're still in lockdown till the 6th of July, according to the guy who sent me an email 2 days ago. So that sprocket, if everything goes well and they come out of lockdown on the 6th of July, it'll be posted out by DHL, and once it gets here I'll be able to fire off with fit this myself. Hopefully it shouldn't be that hard to fit a rear sprocket to this one, so I'll be able to fit that unit myself. And we'll try this bike then with the 47 rear, 15 front, then I'll switch over, and I might even try the 14T front on the 47 back, and we'll try it that way and take it out and see how it climbs the hills. But let's talk the little Kawasaki KLX230, which I think is a great little bike. So this has been causing me a great deal of grief this year. This 13 tooth sprocket I bought. And when I bought the bike I decided to order that one, and if I had it over again I would have got the dealer to fit that sprocket, because I didn't realise how much trouble I'd have. But I'll swing around the other side and we'll have a look, and I'll just show you what went on. Now I've got a few other things to mention too at the end of this, or after this Kawasaki business, and it's well worth your trouble to hang on and have a listen to what I've got to say. But meanwhile, this may be of interest. This is a anti-glare screen protector for 2019 model Honda CB500X. Now, well, last year when I had one of those, I did a review on them, and that they really worked well. So if you happen to have a Honda CB500X and it's 2019 model, I don't know if it'll fit a 2000. I don't think it'll fit the 2018, because I think the 2018 model I had was a different shaped dash. At this stage, if you put it in the comment CB500X, and I might give it a week or something like that and draw it, and it doesn't matter where you are, anywhere in the world, this screen protector, like it's brand new, never used, and I'll send it out to you, whoever wins it, when I do a draw on it. When I had it on mine it worked really well, and I'm pretty sure it's worth having. Anyway, back to this bike, and then we'll go on to that important information I was going to tell you about what's going to happen with it maybe on the channel. Now, if we were taking a look at this little KLX230, I had plans on putting a 13 tooth front sprocket on it to see if I could get a bit more improvement now on the hill climbing, but a couple of times now I've had to go up pulling that front sprocket off and had no luck whatsoever. It's just on there too tight, and I even used a big ratchet on it to try to get it to drop, but no luck there either. So it looks like the only way I'll get it going is head back to the Kawasaki dealer and get him to pull the front sprocket off and replace it with the one I've already got. while I'm at it, I might as well mention that some of the observant ones might have noticed I've had a channel change, and you know, it's been known as Warrow for quite some time now, and naturally Warrow is pretty close to what my surname is, and you know, it's been good enough there for a while, but I've decided now to uplift it to the new one, and I've decided to call that Ride with Warrow. I think that's more appropriate to the name of the channel, considering I've gone motorbikes now, and you know, I'm out there riding motorbikes, and naturally yous are coming along on the rides, so I think Ride with Warrow sounds better than just the word Warrow, so we'll go on that particular line there. Now, the other big news I'm thinking about at the moment, I might bring in another bike, and the bike I'm thinking about, oh actually there's 3 bikes that are contenders, and I haven't decided which one to go for, but the first bike I'd been looking at, when I picked up that Kawasaki 2 or 3 weeks back, or month, however long ago it was, I was looking on the floor down there, and the dealer had a Kawasaki W800. So I was looking at that bike, and apparently it's still in stock, and I was fairly impressed with the bike. The build quality and overall finish of the bike was pretty good, so it looked pretty smart actually. The one he had in stock was called the, I think it was a W800 Black Edition SE or something to that effect, but it was an all black bike anyway, so it sort of looked a bit in some ways like the Interceptor, except no chrome, and it seemed to be fairly well put together. So that was bike 1 I was thinking of. Number 2 I was looking at was, you know, I was thinking maybe I could probably think about having a hit at a Himalayan, although I've had a Himalayan before. The previous one I had was a Carby one, and the one I had in thoughts about at the moment would most likely be the fuel injected ABS model, and maybe possibly a red one in one of those, the new red and black tank one. I know the new ABS Royal Enfield Himalayan, the one we've got in Australia now, hasn't got switchable ABS, it's just got ABS in it, so they're a little bit behind here in Australia on that line, but you know, that's something I can think about there. And possibly the third choice of bike would be one that's sort of fairly dear to my heart, because I've been associated with them since 2012, would be the Royal Enfield Classic 500 in the new Trials version. And I thought about this bike over the last couple of months on and off, and the one that really appeals to me is the new green version. There's a green Trials version, they come in 2 colours, either green or red, so it's a contender, and I know a great deal about these Enfields, especially the Classic 500s, because I've had a lot to deal with them since that period of time, over 8 years, and I've been on a lot of the Classic 500s, and what sort of appeals to me in that line is that Classic 500s are being, or the Enfield 500s are being dropped from the range, and this would be my last chance to pick up one of these bikes new, and after that, if I ever wanted to buy one, I'd have to settle for someone's second-hand one, which doesn't really appeal to me. So, but I will say the Trials 500 I think is a nice bike, and so between it, they're the 3 bikes which I'll probably give a bit of thought, and I think, you know, something could happen, and like I said, I've changed the channel name, so something's going to happen, you know, in that line, and that's why I think I'm going to go into one of those 3 bikes, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, and hopefully something will come and it'll be interest to you, and you'll see it go out and do a fair few tests on that particular bike. So once again, thanks for calling in, taking a look, and I'll catch up with you later. Ride with Warrow out.